The desert was silent. No wind, no animals, no signs of life. The man walked slowly across the sand. His boots left deep marks, but the heat erased them in seconds. This planet was marked dead by human records. No water, no cities, no reason to stay. He was only here because his ship had crashed. His scanner showed nothing. No movement, no signals, just empty land under a burning sky. Then he heard a voice. "Save me. Take me with you." He stopped. The voice was soft but clear. It was not an echo. It was real. He turned around. Nothing. His heart beat faster. He lifted his scanner again. Still nothing. "Please," the voice said again. This time he looked up, and his breath stopped. High above the desert, hanging upside down in the sky, was a giant woman. She was at least 20 times taller than him. Her long silver hair flowed downward, moving slowly as if gravity did not fully touch her. Glowing cables wrapped around her legs and waist, holding her in the air like a prisoner. Dark red blood fell from her body and vanished before touching the sand. She was not human, but her face looked gentle. Her eyes were wide and full of fear. "Save me," she said again. "Please, before they come." The man's hand shook. His scanner screamed warnings. Unknown life form. Power level, extreme. Do not engage. Every rule he knew told him to run. But she was hurt, and she was asking for help. Who did this to you?" he asked. Her eyes moved to the sky. "They are watching," she whispered. "If they see you, they will kill you." The sky suddenly felt heavy. The man checked his weapon. It was small, old, almost useless. "You're huge," he said carefully. "Why ask a human?" The giant woman gave a sad smile. "Because humans still choose," she said. "Others do not." A low sound rolled across the desert. The ground vibrated. The man looked toward the horizon. Dark shapes were moving far away. Too fast, too large. "They're coming, aren't they?" he asked. She nodded slowly. "They hunt my kind," she said. "And they fear yours." That made no sense. Fear humans? Humans were small, weak, easy to break. Another sound came from the sky. A deep hum, like something waking up. The glowing cables around the giant woman grew brighter. "They will pull me away," she said, "to a place where I will not return." The man swallowed. If he did nothing, she would be taken. If he tried to help, he would likely die. He looked at the cables. "What happens if I cut them?" he asked. Her eyes widened. "No human has ever tried," she said. "The force could tear you apart." The hum grew louder. The man took a slow breath. Humans were not the strongest. They were not the biggest. But they had crossed stars with broken ships and empty hands. He stepped forward. The heat burned his skin. The energy from the cables made the air shake. He raised his cutter. "Don't move," he said. The giant woman laughed softly. Not in joy, in surprise. "You are afraid?" she said. "Yes," he answered. "And yet you stay." He did not reply. He cut the first cable. The light exploded. The shock threw him back into the sand. His ears rang. His vision blurred. When he looked up, the giant woman was falling. The sky bent. Gravity twisted. She did not crash. She landed gently on the desert floor, kneeling like the ground itself had accepted her. The cables burned away and vanished. For a moment, everything was silent again. Then the sky turned dark. A shadow covered the sun. The man stood slowly. Something massive was above them now. The giant woman looked at him, fear clear in her eyes. "You should have run," she said. The shadow moved, and somewhere far away, a signal was sent. Human detected. The shadow above them grew larger. The air became cold. The desert stopped breathing. The man looked up and felt very small. A massive shape floated in the sky. Dark metal, sharp edges. No lights, no sound. It did not move like a normal ship. It waited as if it was watching. The giant woman slowly stood up. Even standing, she moved carefully, like she did not want to scare him. "They are here," she said quietly. The man wiped blood from his forehead. His body hurt, but he stayed on his feet. "What are they?" he asked. "Hunt ships," she answered. "They take gods and break them." "Gods?" he repeated. She looked down at him. "My kind is called the Aurelians," she said. "Many worlds call us gods because we are large and strong." She opened her hand. The sand lifted into the air, floating like water. But strength does not mean safety, she continued. The ship above them shifted slightly. A deep voice echoed from the sky, not loud but heavy. Step away, human. The man felt the words inside his chest. This does not concern you. The giant woman moved in front of him. It concerns me, she said. The voice paused. Your fate is sealed, it replied. Do not protect the human. The man looked up at her back. She was huge, powerful, and still afraid. Why are they scared of me? He asked softly. She turned her head just enough to see him. Because humans change things, she said. The ship lowered. The sand began to melt under its shadow. The giant woman raised her arms. A soft light spread around them, forming a shield. They will not attack yet, she said. They want you gone. Then I'll leave, the man said. If it saves you. Her eyes widened. No, she said quickly. They will hunt you. Humans are not allowed to see us like this. Why? He asked. She hesitated. Because long ago, she said, the galaxy tested humans. The shield shook as something hit it. Every species is tested, she continued. Fear, pain, control. Another hit. Stronger. Most break, she said. Most obey. The man listened, his fist tight. But humans, she said slowly, adapt. The shield cracked. You were weak, she said. Small. Easy to destroy. The man felt anger rise, but he stayed silent. And yet, she said, you survived every test. The ship fired again. The shield shattered like glass. The giant woman fell to one knee. Humans do not wait for permission, she said. You help even when afraid. You fight even when you know you can lose. The man stepped forward. That's just being human, he said. The voice from the ship returned. Human, it said. Leave now. This is your final warning. The man looked at the giant woman. Her breathing was heavy. Her light was fading. If he left, he would live. If he stayed, he would die. He raised his head. No, he said. The word was small, but it was clear. The desert shook. The ship charged its weapon. The giant woman grabbed him gently and pulled him close to her chest. Why? She whispered. Why stay? He looked up at her face. Because you asked, he said. For the first time, she smiled without fear. The weapon fired. The giant woman turned her back to the blast. Light filled the desert. Pain burned through her body. She screamed, but she did not fall. When the light faded, she was still standing. Broken, bleeding, but standing. The ship stopped firing. The voice returned, colder now. This changes things, it said. Far away, other signals woke up. More ships, more eyes. Across the galaxy, a message spread. A human has chosen. The giant woman looked down at the man. They will come now, she said. Not just for me. For us, he corrected. She nodded. For the first time in many ages, the galaxy felt something new. Not fear, but uncertainty. The desert was no longer quiet. The sky above them filled with moving lights. Ships appeared one by one. Big ships, small ships, dark ships. They did not attack. They watched. The man felt their eyes on him, even without seeing faces. The giant woman stood behind him now. Her massive shadow covered him like a wall. They are waiting, she said. They want to understand. Understand what? The man asked. Why I chose you, she replied. A new voice spoke. Not for one ship, but many at once. Human, it said. Step forward. The man took a breath and walked a few steps ahead. The sand felt heavy under his boots. You are weak, the voice said. You cannot fight us. I know, the man answered. The ships paused. You are alone, the voice continued. No army, no fleet. That's true, he said. The giant woman watched him closely. Then why do you stand? The voice asked. The man thought for a moment. Because someone needed help, he said. Silence spread across the sky. The giant woman slowly lowered herself and sat on the desert floor. She looked at the ships. Long ago, she said, the galaxy studied humans. Images appeared in the air. Old images. Human cities burning. Human ships breaking. Human bodies falling. You pushed them into fear, she said. You watched what they would become. The man felt his chest tighten. They lost worlds, she continued. They lost families. They lost hope. The images changed. Humans fixing broken machines. Humans sharing food. Humans standing together. And still, she said, they survived. The voice spoke again. They were dangerous, it said. They refused control. Yes, the giant woman replied. That is why you fear them. The man looked up. We are not monsters, he said. You are worse, the voice replied. You adapt. The ships showed more images. Humans learning alien weapons. Humans turning enemy tech into tools. Humans winning battles they should have lost. When humans are hunted, the voice said, they change. The giant woman looked at the man. You grow stronger under pressure, she said. Pain does not stop you. It teaches you. The man clenched his fists. Is that why you were hanging there? He asked. She nodded. They wanted to know if humans still choose kindness, she said. If you had left me, they would have erased you. The man stared at the sky. And if I saved you, then they would fear you again, she said. A smaller ship moved closer. Human, the voice said. You stand between us and a god. The man shook his head. She's not a god, he said. She's just someone who needed help. The ships went quiet. The giant woman's eyes filled with something new. Respect. The desert wind returned, soft and slow. You see, she said to them. This is why humans cannot be ruled. The man felt heat rise in his chest. We don't need to rule, he said. We just don't like being told who to save. The ships shifted. Weapons power down. For the first time, fear moved through the fleet. Not fear of strength. Fear of choice. The voice spoke again, slower now. If more humans come, the balance will break. The man looked up. Then maybe the balance was wrong, he said. The giant woman stood beside him. You asked why I chose humanity, she said softly. This is why. She placed one massive hand on sand. I was born strong, she said. But you were born free. The ships began to pull back. Not retreating, thinking. But one signal remained active. A deep hidden one. The giant woman felt it. Her body stiffened. They have called the Watchers, she said. The ones who end stories. The man swallowed. Can we stop them? She looked down at him. I don't know, she said honestly. But the way she stood next to him said something else. She believed. Far across the galaxy, ancient systems woke up. And for the first time in a long time, the universe prepared. Not for war, but for humans. The sky began to change. The stars dimmed. The light bent. Space itself felt heavy. The giant woman lifted her head slowly. They are here, she said. The Watchers. The man looked up. He could not see them yet, but his body felt cold. What are they? He asked. They in problems, she replied. They do not ask why. A deep sound filled the air, not loud, but everywhere at once. The desert cracked. Above them, space opened like a wound. Something stepped through. It had no clear shape, no face, no body, only shifting shadows and burning light. The man felt his knees weaken. The voice of the Watchers spoke, not with sound but with thought. Human, step away. The giant woman moved forward once. No, she said. The Watchers paused. You protect him, the voice said. This is illogical. She stood taller. He chose to save me, she said. Now I choose him. The ground shook. You risk extinction, the Watchers replied. The man stepped forward. Then talk to me, he said. The giant woman turned, shocked. They do not talk, she warned. But the Watchers listened. You are one, the voice said. Why do you matter? The man took a breath. I don't, he said. Not alone. The Watchers waited. But humans do, he continued. We are small, yes. Weak, yes. But we don't walk away. The sky flickered. You cause instability, the voice said. The man nodded. Because the universe keeps hurting people, he answered. And someone has to say no. The giant woman looked at him. Her eyes shined. The Watchers showed images. Human wars. Human mistakes. Human destruction. You bring chaos, the voice said. The man did not deny it. We make mistakes, he said. But we also fix them. The images changed. Humans rebuilding cities. Humans subbing strangers. Humans standing in front of danger. We don't give up, he said. Even when we should. Silence spread. The giant woman slowly knelt beside him. Her movement shocked every ship watching. A being called a god, kneeling. I was made strong, she said to the Watchers. But strength alone changes nothing. She placed one hand behind the man. He stood when he should have run, she said. That is why humans scare you. The Watcher shifted. You inspire defiance, the voice said. Yes, she replied. And hope. The man looked up at the sky. You want order, he said. But order without choice is just a cage. The desert wind stopped. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the Watcher spoke again. If humans spread, control will fail. The man nodded. Maybe, he said, but life will grow. The Watchers began to pull back. The sky slowly closed. This war will not begin today, the voice said. Across the horizon, the fleets powered down. The tension lifted, but fear remained. The giant woman exhaled deeply. They spared us, she said. For now. The man looked at her. What happens next? She stood and looked at the stars. They will watch, she said. They always do. A soft light formed in the sky. A message spread across the galaxy. Humanity acknowledged. Status, unresolved. The giant woman turned to the man. My people will not forget this, she said. Nor will the Watchers. He smiled slightly. Neither will humans. She extended her hand. Come with me, she said. The universe is changing. He stepped on her palm. As they rose into the sky, ships moved aside. Not in fear, in respect. Far away, worlds listened. Because the war everyone expected never started, the universe did not forget. After that day, stories began to spread. Across star systems and silent worlds, one message traveled again and again. A human chose to save a giant, and the giant chose humanity. The man stood on the edge of a massive space station, looking out at the stars. He was no longer alone. Ships from many worlds now traveled near human space. Not as enemies, as watchers. The giant woman stood behind him, her size reduced by soft energy fields so she could walk among humans. They are still afraid, she said quietly. He nodded. So are we, he replied. She smiled. But you move forward anyway. Far away, alarms rang. A small planet near the outer systems was under attack. Not by fleets, but by collapse. Its sun was failing. Its people were trapped. No one moved. Saving that world would cost resources. Time. Lives. The man looked at the giant woman. We should go, he said. She did not ask why. Human ships launched first. Old ships. Scarred ships. Ships held together by hope and repair plates. Other species watched. Why help them? One voice asked. The man answered calmly. Because they need it. The rescue was slow. Dangerous. Many almost died. But the planet lived. The galaxy saw everything. After that, more calls came. A broken moon. A dying station. A species lost in deep space. Humans answered each one. They did not ask for power. They did not demand control. They just showed up. The Watchers observed in silence. They do not conquer, one Watcher said. They connect, another replied. Time passed. The giant woman stood before her own kind, the Aurelians. They fear humans, one of them said. Why follow them? She looked at them and spoke softly. Because when the universe turned cold, she said, humans stayed warm. The man stood beside her. Not above, not below, beside. One day, the Watchers appeared again. This time they did not threaten. They asked, what do humans want? The man thought carefully. To choose, he said, who we help, who we become. The Watchers were silent. Then the stars shifted. For the first time in history, the Watchers stepped aside. Humanity will not be controlled, they said. It will be observed. The giant woman closed her eyes. Relief washed over her. The man looked at the endless stars. Humanity was still small, still fragile, still flawed, but no longer ignored. Across the galaxy, children of many species now learned a new story. Not about gods, not about monsters, but about humans. The species that felt fear and still acted. The species that broke rules to save lives. The species that looked at a giant hanging upside down in the desert and chose to help. The man and the giant woman stood together on a new world, a shared world, a beginning. The universe was vast, and for the first time, it felt a little more human. The end Milky Way sparkles.